Hello, class! I'm here today to tell you about the sentence. The sentence is important because it's the basis for writing. If you want to write an essay or a paragraph or a book, you must first learn how to write the simple sentence. So, what is a sentence? A sentence is a group of words that expresses a complete idea and contains a subject and a verb. Now, what I want you to keep in mind is a complete idea. I like the sentence, I love you, because with this sentence, it's clear to understand how to identify the subject and the object and the verb. English is a subject verb object language. Oftentimes we communicate in this method, in this order. First comes the subject, second the verb, and third is the object. Now this is English, so there's always an exception. But the subject verb object order is the basics of a simple sentence. Okay, so first you need to identify the subject. The subject does the action of the verb in the sentence. It does the action of the verb. Love is the verb of the sentence. The verb is usually an action or a state of being of the sentence. You is the object. The object is what receives the action of the sentence. To repeat, the subject does the action of the sentence. I do the loving. The object receives the action of the sentence. You receive the love. So is this a sentence? You, I love, or love you, I? No, it's not a sentence because it's not in the correct order. Remember, the first the subject, second the verb, and third the object. Okay, let's check for comprehension. Which is a sentence? You are a student. Is this a sentence? Yes. You is the subject, are is the verb, and a student is the object. Number 2. Where is my book? Is this a sentence? Yes, but here we come to an exception. At the beginning of the sentence, we don't see the subject. It's actually at the end. And the sentence starts with a question word, where. So this is a sentence, but it's a question. Where is my book? Number 3, a big gray owl. No, this is not a sentence. There's no verb in this sentence. It's just a subject, or it could be an object. Number 4, although she left the house. Now this is a tricky one. It's not a sentence. Because it starts with the word although, it becomes a dependent clause. Now, if you don't know what a dependent clause is, or you don't know what a clause is, you must watch my video about independent and dependent clauses. Number 6, when the bell rang. No, this is not a sentence. Again, this is considered a dependent clause because it starts with a when. We need something after it. When the bell rang, comma, I ran into the school. Number 7, into the wide open space. No, this is not a sentence. This is actually a prepositional phrase. So we need a verb before it, such as the girl ran into the wide open space. So this is not a sentence. Number 8, she laughed. Yes, this is a sentence. She is the subject, laughed is the verb. A sentence does not always need an object. Number 9, stop. Is this a sentence? Now this is a tricky one. Yes, this is called an imperative. What this means is that there's an understood subject. The subject is you. So the actual sentence is you stop. And that is a complete sentence. Number 10, I love you. Yes, that is a sentence, and that's a great way to remember the subject, the verb, and the object of a sentence. I hope you'll refer to that easy sentence to remind yourself how to identify the subject and the object and the verb. Capitalization. I want to talk a little bit about capitalization. So, capitalization, a sentence always starts with a capital letter. You're going to correct the errors with me in the paragraph below. Okay, first sentence. He loves to eat sushi. Is there a problem here? Yes, sushi. Sushi is just a common noun. It's not proper. Remember, a proper noun is a specific person, place, or thing. So if you are really into sushi, then you're going to say a specific type of sushi, such as, nigiri. He loves to eat nigiri. Yeah, then that would be capitalized. But sushi in itself, no, it's just a common noun, not capitalized. He loves to eat all types of food. What's the problem in this sentence? Well, it's the beginning word he. Remember, every beginning word in a sentence must be capitalized. This is a hard cut rule. There's no exceptions here. He should be capitalized. She does not like sushi. Again, we have the same problems. She must be capitalized. Sushi should not be capitalized. She only eats soba at a Japanese restaurant. Okay? What's the problem here? She is correct, only eats correct. Soba. Soba is, I think soba is correct. I think soba is a specific type of noodle. I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure it's a specific type of noodle. So it's correct. At a Japanese restaurant. Okay, here they get you, right? Japanese restaurant should not be capitalized because it's not a specific restaurant. It's a general restaurant. You know, a Chinese restaurant, a Mexican restaurant. These are not specific restaurants. A specific restaurant is Guadalajara. It's a specific restaurant. Other restaurants, McDonald's, it's actually a specific restaurant. It needs to be capitalized. But a Japanese restaurant is not specific. It's a common noun. It should not be capitalized. But it depends on the restaurant because sometimes she only wants noodles. All right, so again, first question, first word, but it should be capitalized. But it depends on the restaurant. Restaurant should not be capitalized. And noodles is kind of cut out, but it is fine. Okay, next, punctuation. Punctuation, at the end of a sentence, you have three choices. So you have three choices, a period, a question mark, and an exclamation point. A period goes at the end of a statement, a question mark goes at the end of a question, and an exclamation point goes at the end of a sentence where you're expressing a lot of emotion. Okay, and next I want to do an exercise where we look at the subject, we look at the verb, and we look at the object. One major problem with learning English is the subject and the verb. You oftentimes make mistakes when you put the subject with the verb. Okay, because this is called subject-verb agreement, and it can be a big problem for language learners. So if I look at the girl love to tell jokes. Okay, the girl loved to tell jokes. Now the problem is we have a singular subject, so our verb needs an S on it. The girl loves to tell jokes. So when we have a singular subject, you need to put an S on your verb. It doesn't make the verb plural, it just makes it agree with the subject. Now, if we don't have a singular subject, such as my friend and I love to tell jokes. That's okay. That's how we say it. But if it's a singular subject, you need an S. The girl loves to tell jokes. So we have a bunch of subjects and a bunch of verbs, a bunch of objects. I want you to try to make sentences with these words. Okay, I'm going to give you, actually, why don't you pause the video, make your sentences, and then you can check the answers. Okay, so here are the answers to these sentences. You can have different answers, but you just want to make sure that the subject and the verb go together, and you can check your answers by the ones I give you. All right, so I'll let you read through those sentences. And next, I want to talk about the major sentence problems that ESL students struggle with. So the first one is word order. That subject, verb, object pattern I showed you at the beginning of this video, it's confusing, and it can confuse lots of language learners. What's the word order in a sentence? Okay, so word order is a problem area. Run-on sentences. Now I have a whole nother video about run-on sentences in fragments. Okay, these are sentences that are not correct. And also comma splice. Capitalization. Lots of times students do not capitalize the beginning of a sentence, or, like I said, the proper noun, common noun. Sometimes there's lots of other problems that are just confusing. But one area, so I want to look at word order. Now, if I take the sentence, she was for a long time in many hospitals. This does not make sense because it's not in the correct order. Now, if I say she was in many hospitals for a long time, that sentence makes sense. Please, a book to bring, you must pick. It's wrong. Doesn't work. Again, please, you is the object, must pick, subject, a book, object, to bring. Saturday, a day to remember, it was. Bad sentence. The good sentence, Saturday, the subject, was, verb, a day to remember, that's the object. A pencil gave the woman. No. The woman, subject, gave, verb, the pencil, object. So again, the English language has this pattern of subject, verb, object. There's a poem called The Jabberwocky, and what it does is, it's a poem, you can look it up, you can Google it. It shows you that word order and punctuation actually help you understand the language, because the Jabberwocky is actually made up words, it's gibberish, but you can get some type of meaning because of the syntax. Syntax is another name for how words are in order. Okay, guys, thanks so much. You need to watch the clauses, sentence clauses. You need to understand clauses before you understand sentence, what makes a sentence. I also want you to watch the 4 sentence types. Okay, so you learned about a sentence, but you didn't learn about all the 4 sentence types. That's very important to write with a different group of sentences, not the same type of sentence over and over, but I'm going to show you different ways to combine the simple sentence. They're called the 4 sentence type. And that's it. All right, guys, take care. Again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and watch my other videos. Check out my website, www.plusoneEnglish.com, and contact me. And if you mention that you watched this video, you'll receive a promo code for being a first-time student. And you'll receive an entire free lesson if you can discover why the name of my website is Plus One. So use the contact box in the website and give me your answer.